In this video, I'm going to compile 5 of my best and most watched videos on the channel, ranging from 1 million to 30 million views. Stick around until the end. You won't want to miss this. After Atlas asks Superman to take on his burden for just 1 day so he can walk his daughter down the aisle at her wedding, Superman decides to accept the request and becomes responsible for holding the weight of the entire world on his shoulders. But as Clark feels the immense weight, he is shocked and asks how long Atlas will be gone. At that moment, Superman realizes that Atlas has already left and prepares himself for the longest day of his life. As the news spreads that Superman is out of the city, several villains try to take advantage of the situation. At the same time, many heroes step in to cover for him, such as his cousin Supergirl and even teammates like the Flash, while Clark grows more and more exhausted from carrying the weight of everything. Later, as Lois Lane becomes unsure about what to write in the newspaper and Superman starts to fear that Atlas might never return, Atlas finally appears again and asks Clark how things are going. With a trembling voice, Superman replies that it has been a piece of cake. After thanking him for the help and saying that he would never forget what Superman did for him, Atlas immediately takes back his burden, freeing Superman. At that very moment, Clark drops to his knees. When Superman admits that he feared Atlas might not come back, Atlas responds that he would never wish his burden on anyone else. Clark then collapses onto the ground right there, finally enjoying his well-earned rest. Shazam reveals his identity to Superman after witnessing his friend get killed. He rushes him to the emergency room, where he watches doctors desperately try to save him, only for the boy to eventually succumb to his injuries. Shazam snaps and threatens to crush the killer's head if he doesn't reveal who hired him. The killer confesses that Dr. Sivana was the mastermind behind the murder. Shazam confronts Sivana in his penthouse. With a single punch, he shatters every window in the room and lifts Sivana off the ground, slowly choking him. After a few minutes, Shazam decides to let go and flies away, leaving Sivana unconscious on the floor. When Superman learns about Shazam's violent outburst, he immediately confronts him. Clark is caught off guard when he finds Shazam crying uncontrollably, blaming himself for his friend's death. Shazam tells him that his friend was just a kid named Scott, which confuses Clark. Shazam looks like a grown man with a child as his best friend. Shazam tells Superman to stand back and transforms into his original form, Billy Batson. Superman asks who did this to him and then goes to confront the wizard Shazam, furious that he entrusted such immense power and responsibility to a child. Clark argues that a boy Billy's age should be worrying about homework and family problems, not life and death decisions. The wizard replies that Billy may be a child, but he is a child who needs guidance. Later, Clark Kent visits Billy in an abandoned apartment building and reveals his own identity as Superman, choosing to become Billy's mentor. After failing to stop an asteroid from colliding with Earth after discovering at the last moment that it was made of kryptonite, Superman ends up falling into a coma for 3 months. When he finally wakes up and prepares to return to action, Clark is warmly welcomed by everyone in the Justice League. Everyone except Batman, who quickly asks to speak with him in private. Batman then shows Clark that the kryptonite asteroid crashed into the nation of El Caldero, and the country has become extremely rich, now being the largest distributor of kryptonite in the world. Bruce explains that, unfortunately, kryptonite is now spread all over the planet, and the president of El Caldero has even proclaimed himself the king of kryptonite, turning it into the official currency of his country. Although this clearly seems like a massive problem for all Kryptonians, Batman tells Superman that his situation appears to be different. The only reason Clark survived the asteroid was because he discovered a new ability. This power activates whenever he suffers severe damage from kryptonite, releasing all the energy from his body outward and turning him golden, making him immune to kryptonite for the next 200 seconds. However, once that time runs out, Clark is left temporarily powerless until he can recharge. Batman then tells Superman to take advantage of this new power, and Clark immediately begins doing so, stopping as many kryptonite-related crimes as he can. He even discovers that he can share this new power with others when he hugs Krypto, curing him of kryptonite wounds. Despite Superman doing his best to hide the fact that he loses his powers after the 200 seconds, he realizes it will be difficult when he is startled in front of everyone after being hit by a small paper ball. After suddenly ripping the blanket off a baby and making him cry, Thanos tells the baby that this was the first of many birthdays to come. A few years pass, and on David's 5th birthday, as he complains about a monster that haunts him on every birthday, Thanos suddenly kills his father in a car accident. When David turns 16, Thanos takes his phone and starts sending atrocious messages to his girlfriend, causing her to break up with him immediately. When David asks why, Thanos simply replies, "Happy birthday." This keeps happening year after year. On David's 21st birthday, Thanos poisons the drinks at his party party, killing all the guests. At 25, Thanos burns down the college David managed to get into. At 27, David complains that Thanos got him fired, but Thanos says that was just bad luck, and that in fact, he killed David's cat instead. Then, on David's 30th birthday, Thanos doesn't appear for the first time. David sees on TV that Thanos has been exiled by the Avengers. David celebrates his freedom, but when he turns 31, Thanos suddenly reappears and apologizes for missing the last birthday, saying it won't happen again. He snaps his fingers, leaving David's house suspended over a massive abyss to make up for the previous year. On David's 45th birthday, Thanos enters his house and finds him in a miserable state. David begins a speech, saying he thinks he has finally understood why Thanos has done all of this, but Thanos quickly interrupts him, saying he doesn't care. He smashes through the roof and floods the house before saying goodbye. After Hulk finally managed to live a perfect life, having merged with Banner, married, had 2 young children, and worked happily as an Avenger, his wife, Betty, suddenly began saying strange things. When Hulk asked what was going on, everything went black, and he suddenly woke up imprisoned in a laboratory. Bruce broke free and immediately came face to face with who seemed to be his own son, along with a massive army led by MODOK. When he attacked them all and escaped, he discovered several other people imprisoned as well. He was quickly found again, and MODOK explained everything. Many years had passed, and World War III had wiped out most of humanity, killing many heroes and leaving nearly the entire Earth radioactive. Shocked by what he heard, Bruce decided to visit the surface to see if MODOK was telling the truth. Once he saw the ruins of civilization with his own eyes, MODOK returned and begged Hulk to stay underground to survive, but Bruce ignored him and left. As Bruce traveled around the world, finding every city in ruins, he mourned what humanity had done to itself. But after reflecting on his past and growing tired of crying over dead animals and desolation, he began to turn his sadness into anger and went searching for any sign of civilization. Eventually, Bruce found a few survivors who led him to a post-apocalyptic city ruled by someone known as the Maestro. When Hulk was summoned to the Maestro's castle, Bruce discovered that the Maestro was actually Hercules all along. Although Hercules welcomed Hulk warmly, Bruce believed humanity deserved a better leader and challenged him to a fight, but was easily defeated. Days later, Hulk returned to Hercules to apologize, offering him a wife as a gift. However, once Hercules accepted the apology and was left alone with his new wife, she suddenly turned into a cloud of toxic gas and killed him instantly, allowing Hulk to take his place and become the new Maestro of Earth. Comment below which one is your favorite, and don't forget to leave a like.